Thank you, everybody, for taking the time to jump on. My name is Katrina, and I get the pleasure of launching Wednesday nights, which is awesome because it's one of my favourite things to do. Although I'm all the way over here in Australia, I do have some really cool ties to New Zealand. So the New Zealand event is one of my favourite ones, especially too because we're seeing such momentum happen over there. Like, I know we've got a few of our beautiful leaders on tonight, but I think there's just a really cool movement happening in New Zealand at the moment. You guys always loved holistic principles, so that's obviously close to what we do here, so that's important. But there's also a really strong need over there for you guys to find your financial independence. It's quite hard to live in New Zealand, so this is a really cool option because not only does it help with the health, and the holistic principles, but it does also have the option there to kind of create some financial security. So it's kind of like a win-win. But basically, I'll tell you a little bit about myself, then we're going to shift into some stories, get some of these beautiful leaders sharing what they're doing. Please remember, though, tonight is literally just sharing. We don't want you to feel pressured at any stage. That is typically not what we want to do. It's just really to kind of see if we can impact anybody or help anybody, inspire anybody, because that is what sets us on fire. Basically, I've created this company called The Soul Project. Now, what I wanted to do is create a movement that really went out and helped raise consciousness. I wanted people to feel better. I wanted people to be closer to what makes them happy, closer to their purpose. I find that today in society, we are so trapped. We're trapped in debt. We're trapped in jobs that we don't like, sometimes relationships that we don't like. And quite often we're not really reaching our full potential because we're shrouded by fear. I was introduced to this opportunity, but it was just a little bit different the way it was presented to me 2 years ago. And at that stage, I could completely resonate with just what I said because that's what I was doing. I was working 2 full-time jobs trying to get 2 separate businesses off the ground. I had 2 very small children, and I was also in a relationship that really wasn't serving me. I was a single parent, basically. My partner at the time was very sick, so I was spending a lot of time caring for everybody else and trying to keep everything else together, but not doing much for me at all. Because of our situation, we were financially strapped. We were living week to week, and I know so many people can resonate with that. I know so many people can resonate with the stress that comes with that. And it just didn't have me living the way I wanted to. I wanted to be there more for my kids. I wanted to travel. I wanted to do all these cool stuff in this cool world. But I felt bogged down by reality. I say reality because it really is an illusion, but all the bullshit that comes with life sometimes, right? So I actually came across Juice Plus through my own need because through my mind, through all that kind of suffering, I had anxiety and depression, which was no surprise. It's quite prevalent these days, isn't it? But it was really getting me down. And now my girlfriend was selling Juice Plus online for 18 months. And I remember looking at her and thinking she was crazy and that it was some fad and that it was, all this kind of stuff in canisters. We see so much of it these days, right? Pop up and disappear. But I bumped into her at coffee, and it was that ample opportunity for her to say to me, she could see me, she could see that I was unhappy, I was unhealthy. Anybody who has severe anxiety and you have to go and do a grocery shop, it's pretty hard not to see it. And she said to me, come over, have a coffee with me. I want to talk to you about this product. She did mention to me then that it was all natural because she knows I'm a little bit of a hippie, and it kind of sold me. So I'm just going to briefly explain the product to you guys and then show you how I utilize that in the Soul Project to be able to give people some more options. So basically what it is just fruit, veggies, and berries. Now they're in an organic form, so it's GMO free. There's no herbicides, no pesticides. It's exactly fruit and veggies the way that they're designed to be. So the way that they're actually designed to be inside of our body and to get in on that cellular level. Sorry guys, I'm just going to mute everybody again. Cool, awesome. Because I know I don't really have to explain it much. I know you guys are probably on that wavelength. Anyway, we're just not getting enough fruits, veggies, and berries in our diet. It's pretty simple. I think it's less than 2% are actually getting the recommended serves of fruit and veg every day. And that's between Australia and New Zealand. So that's insane. There's 98% of our population that aren't getting what their body needs in order to reach their maximum potential. With that stat thrown out there, there's absolutely no surprise that so many of us are sick. So many of us are suffering. So many of us are unhealthy and unhappy. And really, I think so many of us forget that it's really simple to feel better by just eating better food. Now, Lauren showed me these products. So she showed me these little babies. This is literally, so you can see the berries, you can see the fruit and the veggies. Now, even though they do come in a canister and they look kind of multivitamin, when you turn them around, it reads just like an ingredients list because it is actually food. So the way that Juice Plus actually produce these is to take that organic produce and they actually cold press it into a juice. So if you know the benefits of juicing, you'll understand cold pressing is really important because it keeps it all alive and it doesn't overheat any of those nutrients. Then what they do is they get it to a really low temperature and they extract most of the sugar and the water from it, which just leaves those beautiful phytochemicals and the nutrients in their whole food form. Now, this is really cool because our body knows what to do with food, whereas a multivitamin, not so much, okay? It's synthetic, it's made in a lab, and yes, it's made to replicate food and give us those vitamins, but it doesn't do the exact same thing. So having these little babies in just a little capsule that is so simple to put in your body. Now, even the capsule is plant-based, so you're not going to get any chemicals or anything nasty that doesn't belong in your body by taking these products. What it does is it bridges that gap between what we are eating and what we're supposed to be eating. So it gives us that little bit of a backup. Now, what I find super cool about this whole program and product, and what really sold me in the long run of it, is that they don't want to just promote a Band-Aid product. They don't want to just say, here, take this magic pill and everything's going to be fine. But what happens is once you get in this program, they give you an amazing program called the Juicy Body Transformation, which teaches you how to cook with whole food, how to start eliminate chemicals from your food, how to start to actually change your whole lifestyle to create better choices for your family and for your body. So that was really cool for me because also, I don't know how universal you get, but it is actually a scientific fact that is done through the studies of our program. But, you know, I like to say like attracts like. If you put good out there, you get good back. The same goes for your body. If you're flooding it full of the good nutrients every day, your cells actually start to crave that on a cellular level. So the cool thing is that your body starts to crave better food and you no longer start to crave the shit that you were putting in your body beforehand. So, you know, like the takeaways and even chocolate and soft drink and things like that, you really start to have less of a tolerance for it because your body is now starting to survive on the actual proper nutrients rather than those sugar hits. So it really is quite cool. And one of my favorite ways to talk about that is the fact that this happens through kids. So we can say that adults have placebo effects, you know, blah, blah, blah. There's definitely things out there that people can say about it. The kids, there's no placebo effect on kids, you know, and I've got two very small ones that have been taking Juice Plus for the last 2 years. The things that they eat in their diets now are so extreme compared to what they were eating before we started. So before we started, it was basically white potato and maybe some peas if I was lucky. Now the girls take carrot, cucumber, capsicum, chopped up, inside their lunch boxes to school and kindy. And that's cool as a parent. You know, who doesn't want their kids to have more benefits and more good food in their body without the fights, without the you don't leave the table unless you eat kind of stuff. So that was really cool to me. And my favorite part about that whole thing is that the kids eat free. So if you're ordering these, which is what I did when Lauren talked to me, I ordered the premium products. She gave me the kids' products free, which is so cool. Like, that is so cool. This company actually wants children to start feeling better and understanding that the next generation of health starts with them, and they need to understand that the food they're putting inside their body is a direct reflection of that. So I found that really amazing. And as a mum, it sold me because it meant, you know, like sometimes as we'll do things for our kids and our families, but not necessarily for ourselves. I felt like it was okay because I was getting both. You know, I was investing in me and I was investing in the kids as well. So that really helped. And for me, coming into that with depression and anxiety, I mean, it wasn't an easy fix. I will say, though, within 3 days, my energy started to rise. So I started to feel better. I actually wanted to get out of bed and play with the girls and go for walks and do that stuff that promoted me feeling better as well. So, you know, going for a walk obviously made me feel better, but having the energy to do that was awesome. Then, you know, I got involved more in the company because I thought this stuff really does work. Like, I wish more people knew about it. And I started taking what we call our whole food powders. Now, these little guys, they look a little bit like meal replacements that you'll find in Aldi or the chemist. They're definitely not. Okay, it's just a really convenient way to portion size our protein. Now, these are clean protein, so they're based on plants. Again, you're not going to find any animal contents or whey or fillers or anything like that. It's all plants, and it's a really nice way to get all those superfoods into your diet, because protein is actually the thing that keeps you moving. So we've got the micronutrients work on a cellular level. They're kind of like the oil for the car, whereas the protein is really the fuel to keep you moving. So I added those into my diet just to see if it would improve things. And I didn't actually realize at the time until I went in to study them later, but they also contain a mineral in there called niacin. Now, it's really important because it's a natural mood enhancer. So it's a natural antidepressant. B12 or anything else like that's in there as well. So it really does help make you feel better naturally, rather than resorting to all sorts of different things that, you know, sometimes will get passed over the counter to you instead of actually a natural alternative. So together with those combined, it's phenomenal. I can't go anywhere without them, especially the shakes, because I kind of slide towards panic attacks and depression. I rely heavily on the shakes, because even when I travel, like if I go to Bali and things like that, I find they save my sanity. But, you know, other things like my skin is crazy. Like, this is me with no makeup. That would never have happened because I'm always a hormonal breakouter. And, you know, it makes my skin shine. And that's when you know that stuff's happening on the inside, because it's showing up on the outside. And things like that, it's not the magic inside Juice Plus. Like, it's not the Juice Plus that's doing it. It's actually your body, because you're feeding your body better stuff. So it's turning on better, it's showing up for the day better, and it's making you feel better in the long run. So definitely, I can't recommend the products enough. I absolutely adore them. There's over 35 peer-reviewed studies. We are actually the most researched product in the world. So you can have a look that up yourself, and they're amazing. All universities around the world, they're not biased, they're peer-reviewed, gold standard medical journals as well. So if you are a little bit scientifically inclined, you can go and have a read of those. We have some really cool stuff, like how they can affect you with smoking, how they can affect your antioxidant levels. We have a cancer study coming out, which I'm really excited about. All sorts of different things that show how this showing up in your system is going to create a better you. So I can go on and on about that and all the material programs of our products, but what I really like to hear is the stories, because I find the stories are what's powerful. And what's exciting is that it shows up different in every person. So for me, it was my anxiety and my depression that got left. The cool side effects were nails, skin, energy, things like that. But I'm going to shoot on over to Tanya, and I want her to share her story because it's quite powerful as well. So we've got Tanya and Annie, and then we're going to shoot on over and hear from our beautiful lady of the hour, Kristy. So, Tans, the floor is all yours.
Come and be my little side star, Lodge.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. So my journey started when I watched my lovely friend Annie, Annette, who's going to be speaking soon. I watched her get really well, and I was really, really sick. I had been unwell for 4 years, and so basically I had like an autoimmune. I wasn't diagnosed with actually an autoimmune disorder, but I had autoimmune symptoms. So I had what we call interstitial cystitis, which is basically chronic bladder pain every single day, and I had this. For 4 years, and so for 4 years I tried all sorts of different things. I spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars on all sorts of different therapies, supplements, treatments, you name it, I tried it. The only thing I didn't do was do any surgery or go through the traditional medical side, because I'm a bit of a natural girl. And I got, the pain lessened a little bit, but it was still there, and it was still there every single day. And then, of course, on top of that, I had adrenal fatigue. So that was real nice too. So basically, I had cold sores constantly. So pretty much every time one healed, there'd be another one pop up on another part of my lip. I had all sorts of different skin rashes everywhere, constant UTIs and thrush. My hair was falling out. My skin, my nails were brittle. I mean, I was just an absolute mess to look at, and I just felt absolutely awful. I had no energy. So I'd crawl out of bed in the morning. I would be like a zombie all day. I'd feel like by 2 o'clock I was falling asleep. By 8 o'clock there was no way I could stay up past 8 o'clock. So I was a bit of a mess. And so, and the other thing is, it just created such a low mood for me, where I just had no motivation. I used to be a big gym bunny. I used to go mountain bike riding in the summer, and even walking. I used to walk on the beach all the time, and I just didn't have the energy or the motivation to do it. And I'd hated that, because I was always pride myself on the fact that I was an energetic person. So of course, when I saw my lovely friend getting better on these, I thought, oh, this could work for me. So I reached out and I started the products, and 2 days and my energy flew through the roof. I bounced out of bed every morning. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what fruits and veggies does this? I felt amazing. And of course, with that, my mood improved so much too. I just felt so much more positive. And day 4, cold sore had gone, and I've had none since. It's been 3.5 months for me. I've had no chronic pain in my bladder at all. My hair has stopped falling out. My skin is amazing. People keep saying to me that photo's digitally enhanced. I'm like, no, it's me. It's totes me. So I feel awesome all the time. And even, I haven't even been sick. That's the amazing thing. I haven't been to the doctor, and going to the doctor was a regular thing for me. There was always something I was going to the doctor for. So the fact that I feel so good every day, I'm not getting sick, and I'm so much more positive, and I'm just walking again every day. I don't get tired. Like, it's 10:30 at night, and I'm like, I could stay up all night. Of course I don't, but yeah. So that's pretty much my product story. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome, guys. You should try it.
That is awesome.
Thanks.
I love your story, darling. I absolutely love it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing, beautiful.
Pleasure.
That's so cool. That's so cool. See, and things like that, you never really know what it's going to do for somebody, because that's Tanza's body. So it depends how it's going to react in her body. But really cool that she just reached out to her beautiful friend Annie. And most of us are skeptics when we come in here. We think, is it really doing what it's doing? But you don't know until you get it in your body. So that's the beauty of it, is that you've kind of got to give it a shot anyway. But I'm so glad you ladies did. Let's shoot on over and we'll quickly hear from Annie, and then we're going to change gears just a little bit. Floor is all yours, my beautiful friend.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
We can.
Can. Oh, cool. I started on the products in June, and I was crook also, and had been for about 10 months. I had swollen glands and exhaustion and mental breakdowns and spastic attacks and all sorts of crazy things. And I was watching my friend on Facebook, and she was having fantastic results, and she'd lost a lot of weight, her skin had improved, her energy was better. And I just thought, after 10 months of feeling absolutely exhausted and having these breakdowns, like exhaustion breakdowns, and I'd cry and just lose my shit. And so I decided to give the products a go anyway. And by day 2, I'd got my energy not fully back, but I had got to a point where I didn't actually need to have a sleep, because by lunchtime I was laying down after eating and then deciding I'm not going to get back up again, so I'd go to sleep. And then by day 9, I stopped smoking, and I haven't touched one since, and that was 5 months ago now. And what else? I'm still excited about that, actually.
That's a brilliant share. I wish more people would know about that.
I know. Every time I tell that story, I still can't believe that I don't smoke cigarettes, because I thought I'd smoke till the day I die. But I don't smoke anymore. My skin, I got told today my skin was looking awesome. And so, yeah, that was awesome. And also I had lots of pain. I had a lot of emotional pain, but I had a lot of physical pain in my back. I'd fallen off my horse and broke my tailbone, fractured my vertebrae, and I had lots of pain in my back and in my shoulders. And I was on painkillers, ibuprofens, and Panadol, and all sorts of other things. And I had a little cold with a headache for 3 days, and took 2 lots of Panadol. And that's all I've taken in 5 months. And yeah, so for me, that's amazing.
That is amazing.
All of it is amazing. Fruits and veggies and berries, guys, and omegas. You know what I mean? It's like our bodies recognize it as medicine, and we heal. So I'm not claiming that'll happen for everyone, but that's what's happened for me. So I'm over the moon.
You're awesome, darling. I completely agree with you. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Fruits, veggies, and berries. And there's so many cool stories. Like, that's Annie and Tan. So they're obviously two stories, but we have over 2,000 customers inside the Soul Project at the moment. So that's amazing. You know, they're 2 stories. We've got over 2,000 people. And now some people sit there and think, you know, I'm pretty good. I feel okay. Or I don't have pain or something like that. And I say to them, are you eating enough fruits and veggies? Because if you're not, you're still guaranteed at some stage in your life to show the wear and tear of that. Because sometimes our bodies can be fine. You know, like, I actually come from a dancing background, so I've always been super fit. I've always been, you know, exercise has always been important to me. But food, hell no. Like, I ate whatever I wanted. I had a really cool metabolism. So I would literally do my dance classes and drive through McDonald's to have dinner and then come back and do another dance class. And, you know, it's no surprise that when shit got hard in my life, my body couldn't cope with it because it wasn't being fed the right nutrients. And the change that I've noticed in my body over the last 2 months is phenomenal. I've always been fit, but now I feel strong. Like, I feel really healthy. So that's a little bit about the product. What we can do is amazing with the impact, because people are then going to go out and feel better. They're going to show up better in real life, and they're going to be a better version of themselves. So that alone was enough motivation for me to want to get started and really see that there's a drive here to help other people feel better. When I got involved with it, I wanted to know a little bit about the business, because I already ran 2 traditional businesses, and I could see that this was really powerful. So obviously tonight is Kristy's business launch. So she's decided to jump on board and do it as a business too, because she's had really great results from the product. I'm going to share a little bit about how the business works. Now, this isn't necessarily to convince you to join. Okay, if by any means you think this sounds awesome, I want to give it a go for it. But what I want you to do is understand what your friends are doing, how you can help support them. Because you may know of people, you might already be sitting here thinking, like, this would be great for Jack, or this would be great for Dad, or somebody like that. They're the people that you want to send back to these girls if you think that the business isn't for you. But I just really urge you to come with an open mind, because when I was introduced to it, 18 months, I stood on the wing and thought, you know what, this is one of those crazy things. And I didn't look at it. But 2 years in, and I couldn't scream it from the rooftops loud enough, because this is the business model that can take you anywhere. It really can. So just bear in mind with me, have a little bit of an open mind as you come into it, because I'm going to show you how it works. And then we're going to hear from Kristy as to how she got started and what she's noticed so far. So when I came into the business, I was really concerned because people throw out a word there called pyramid scam. Okay. I had no idea what it was, but I knew I was afraid of it, right? The elusive pyramid scam. Now, I actually worked in traditional business in order to save up enough money to get my traditional business, if that makes sense. So I was working retail 40 hours a week to save up enough money to be able to invest enough to have my own business. So when I worked at this retail shop, I came in here and I started down here as a checkout chick. Now, as I worked my way up, I stayed here for 7 years, right? 7 years of my time, working weekends, late nights, all sorts of crazy hours. I gave them all my time, and I did move up here to about assistant manager. But from here, from the top part of the little triangle here, where we got our CEO at the top, it was all family run. So there was no space for me to really move. Luckily for me, that was okay, because this wasn't my lifetime career, okay? But, you know, if you're stuck in something like this and you know for your life that that's all you're going to get to, it's quite frustrating because you don't have that purpose. You don't have that, I'm going to keep going until I can actually achieve what I want, because you're capped here. But luckily enough for me, I didn't have to worry about it. But what I did find is, as I did get good at my job, because I'm quite a hard worker, I found I had to step over people to reach positions. So when I went for the supervising position, one of my friends had to get turned away and I received it. And that kind of mentality where you're stepping over people creates a real stabbing mentality. I'm not just going to be totally honest. Like, it can create some really bitchiness and gossiping in the workplace. And that's not a nice place to be a part of, because you're just showing up there and doing your job. You don't want to know that people are talking shit about you because you're just trying to show up as the best person that you can. So I was really thankful when this kind of ended for me. I had enough money to go out and start my dance studio, and then I was the CEO. Now, I tried my hardest to try and create a triangle here, which didn't create negativity, because that's not my vibe. I don't want to know that anybody's bitching or moaning or feeling unsuccessful. So I tried really hard. The only thing was, though, in a group full of girls where there's only a certain amount of positions and things like that, it happens organically. So it was still bitchy. And what I found was I still didn't get any more time back because I was investing everything I had back into here. I wasn't making any extra money because now I was in charge of everything. So I was paying the insurance, I was paying the wages, I was paying the electricity bill, the rent, everything else. So I wasn't on top, either inside the pyramid or on top of the pyramid. It just wasn't working. Traditional business wasn't happening. So then when this came into my life, it was explained to me this way that really got me seeing, the beauty of what this could be. So in the Juice Plus model, so when you come in as a representative and you go for it for the business, we actually work this way. So there's no top position. It's unlimited. It's called NMD. It's a national marketing position. So at the top, there's unlimited positions. So you're not going to be stepping over anybody to get there because there's unlimited positions across the board. Now, there's a few little steps to get on up the way, but there was no pressure to achieve them. So if I wanted to sit here and earn $500 a month, I totally could. If I wanted to go up to here and earn $3,000, I could. If I wanted to come up to here and earn $10,000 a month, I could. Like, there was the freedom for me to do that, and there was no one breathing down my neck and telling me when to turn up, what uniform to wear. Sorry, your shift's been covered this week, or sorry, we don't have enough work. There was nothing like that because I could show up and do it exactly how I wanted. And that flexibility scared me because I'd never had anything like that, but it also kind of excited me because I knew I was sick of the old models. So I came into this, crazily enough, I managed to meet an MD in 15 months. So I went from being broke and tired and poor and sick of life to complete abundance by giving something else a different chance. So it did really work out for me, and now I'm so excited to try and help other people to feel that, especially because the product that we share is freaking amazing. Like, it helps people's lives. So it feels like, the same analogy, like attracts like. If you're out there, you're doing things and you're helping people feel better, that attraction and that abundance comes back, which is beautiful. Now, the other thing I was concerned about was that I didn't feel like I knew enough people. Well, not that I didn't know enough people, but that I didn't want to feel like I was utilizing them to fuel my business, because that's not what I was about. I didn't want to be preying on my friends and family in order to be successful. But what I found was that this business teaches you how to have some really cool conversations. And in that, it lets you know whether or not it could be for them or not. And I mean, opportunities like this are awesome too, because there's going to be people who stay on here and think, you know what, this sounds like something I should be doing right now. And it's that simple. And I actually introduced it to one of my girlfriends who was doing family daycare at the time, and her name was Miranda. And I only talked to her about it because I knew that she didn't want to turn up to daycare anymore. She was so over it. She was so over having other people in her house all the time. So I said, look, I've started this thing online. I'm not sure if it could be for you, but do you want to have a look? She came along to an event like this and loved it and joined up as well. And then I also found a beautiful lady called Jojo online, who I met, funnily enough, by coincidence, over having a chat about something different. So I didn't know Jo. Miranda was just a distant friend. Then what happened is Miranda went out and introduced it to Shannon, who introduced it to Annie, who introduced it to Tanya, who introduced it to Loach. Okay, Jo went out And she introduced it to Denise, who introduced it to Greg, who introduced it to Hillary. She also introduced it to Vicky, who introduced it to Mark. I introduced it to a few other girls, Desi. And what happened is it gained a momentum that just blew out. Like, you guys can see Loach is on the call. All these girls are on the call, specifically because I had a conversation with Miranda about, I don't know if this could be for you, but do you want to come have a look? So by me knowing 2 girls, it literally started to popcorn out, and it still does today. Like, even when I check my virtual office, so how I run my reports and everything now, literally each day there's like 5 new team members joining the team, because people are out there spreading the mission, and it grows even bigger than myself, which was really cool. So you definitely don't need to know thousands of people in a business like this to make it work. That's definitely not the case. Cool. So I'm going to shoot on over. I want to hear a little bit from Kristy about what got her excited about starting this, whether there was any reservations at the start or what she's kind of excited to see happening at the moment. So it's all yours, my love. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved in the business.
Hi, everyone. So basically, Ash is my friend, and she's just been on the call. I was watching her Facebook posts for the last months, loads of months, and she's just been having the most incredible time putting up all these pictures about how fun she's having with her business and how she's working from anywhere. And I just had to ask her what she was doing. I had been traveling for the last 6 months and had come back to New Zealand and just wanted to keep traveling. And that's all I want to do, and it's still all I want to do. And Ash told me about this business. At first, I was pretty skeptical. As like Katrina was saying, like, you kind of hear these pyramid schemes and it puts a bit of doubt in your mind about this kind of business. And anyway, I started the products and love them. My hair is growing. Most of you know that my hair, it used to be really short at the sides, and now it's growing really thick. My skin is glowing. I was speaking to a friend literally about the products today, and she said that everyone at work has been commenting on how my skin just glows when I walk around, so that's pretty cool. And so then just wanted to get in the business. The last month, I've been really excited for what the future is going to hold. I just know that this is going to just blossom and keep getting bigger and bigger, and all I want to do is get all of my friends involved, especially my girls who I know love traveling and my friends who love traveling. I just think it's the most perfect opportunity for people to do. So that's kind of it really. And I don't really know what else to say. It's really exciting and I love it, and I can't wait to see what the future holds.
You're perfect. That was a beautiful share, darling. That was beautiful. Kristy was so nervous, but you've done really well. You did really well. Yeah, I know it's a bit daunting on this, but exactly like you said, more people need to know about it, because you can do so much. Like, when it's so flexible, so whether you have kids like I do, whether you want to travel like Kristy, you can fit the work when you want. It doesn't have to dictate. And that's where the Soul Project was born, right? Because I feel like so many people go to work specifically just to make money, just to live, and then they get 2 days off, if they're lucky, to have to spend that money and live their life, and then it's wash, rinse, repeat until you die. Like, it's fucked up. I'm sorry, but it really is. Like, it doesn't make sense. And having the freedom in this, like seeing, so a little bit more about me, I'll share my story because I love to talk. But 6 months into this business, I was out earning both of my traditional businesses, and I thought, you know what, I'm stupid if I keep flogging a dead horse. Like, business isn't working for me because I'm outlaying everything. And, if you've done traditional business, sometimes it can take 10 years to see a decent profit. And I wasn't willing to do that when my online business was already earning me $1,000 a week. Like, it was nuts. So I decided to throw away my traditional work and focus securely on my Juice Plus business, and created the Soul Project. And since doing that, I've gained so much freedom. Like, I drop my girls off to school every morning. There's no before school care. There's no after school care. I can be that mum that turns up for reading days. I can come to all their recitals. I can do all of that stuff that was really important to me, but never would have happened if I was in full-time work. More importantly for my soul is that I get the freedom to do what I want. So I'm a real travel bug. I just have like this gypsy spirit where I could not be in a real job. Like, I need to be able to know that I can go and travel if I want to, or I can take my kids here, or I could do that. And this business really gave me that. Because we're available in over 35 different countries, I can take this with me anywhere. So last year we actually lived in Bali for a small portion of the year, which was amazing because my girls got to see a different culture. They got to be immersed in so much different kind of stuff that never would have happened if I was stuck at home in a full-time job. And the beauty of that was that I was still making an income. I was still working. I was still getting to show up for my team and support them because Wi-Fi's a brilliant device, right? So the power of online working is just amazing. We've got people doing it for all sorts of reasons. We've got ladies who want to retire early. We've got ladies who want to bring their husbands home from FIFO. We've got guys that are supporting a single family. We've got all sorts of things. We've got young people who just want to travel. It just fits in so well for so many different things. And the reason that it makes sense so much is that you're doing a good thing by going out there and helping other people feel better. So then you're getting rewarded, and it's just this whole circle of contribution that feels really nice. Now we're going to head on over. I'm going to hear Ashley's story a little bit soon. Now she's actually Kristy's upline. And funny story is that Ashley actually used to work in that shitty retail position with me a long time ago. And we reconnected on Facebook when she seen my journey and seen me traveling and all that kind of stuff. She wanted to know what I was doing. So I want to explain a little bit at the moment though about how we get paid, because I think that's one of the funnest parts. Money used to scare me. It used to represent bills. It used to represent stress. Now I see it as energy. It's beautiful. It can create so many options in life, so much freedom. Now a company like Juice Plus, we've been around for 35 years, which is awesome. You don't get that kind of longevity anymore. But they've been around for 35 years, and for that whole time they've been a direct selling company. So they have saved millions and millions of dollars, like literally millions of dollars every year by not marketing. They don't have billboards. They don't have advertising. They don't pay for celebrity endorsing. They don't waste money on that. What they do is they pay customers directly to share their results. It's so smart. It's so smart, and it's what's kept them around so long, along with the quality of the product. So when I talk about these figures, remember this is profit that they have made from being very smart. It's not from being, deceptive or having anything like that, because otherwise we wouldn't have the brilliant customer stories and testimonials that we do have. So we come in as a DVF. We normally move there within the first 10 days, and straight away that's a $100 bonus, just to kind of reward you and let you guys know that you're appreciated and that you're doing well, and that sharing is going to be beneficial for you. Then within your first 40 days, or typically we like to say a month, you get a $400 bonus. Now that $400 bonus is a teaching bonus. So if you can teach somebody to reach SDVF, you also get $400. So it goes both ways. Then we move on to SC, which is a $600 bonus, and $600 every time you can teach somebody to reach there. Then we move on to SSC, which is a $1,200 bonus, and $1,200 every time you teach someone. Then we have QNMD. You don't need to worry about what these mean, guys. I just kind of want to show you how it works. We've got a $1,500 bonus and $1,500 every time you teach someone to get there. And then we have NMD, which is the top, and that's a $3,000 bonus. And typically when you reach NMD, you don't need a teaching bonus because you're already on $100,000 residual income as a base. Now, that residual income is something entirely different, which I'm going to explain now. So this system is what we call our bonus system. So it's quite easy. It entices people to really get involved and to move through there with a little bit of purpose. So you know that as you hit these, you get rewarded and you get appreciated. What I love about them is that they're exponential. So I could go and introduce 4 people next month and help all 4 of them reach SDVF and get $400 times 4 in my bank account as well as theirs. So that's amazing. Or I could go out and teach it to 10 people and get $4,000 worth of bonusing. It just depends on what I want to do. So that's our bonus structure. Then we also get paid retail profit. So every time that we connect a customer to Juice Plus is going to ship them out the product, so we don't have to do any of that. They look after it, but they do put money straight in our bank accounts for doing it. So we had our bonus structure, then we have our retail profit, and then we also have what we call our commission. We like to say this is the beach money because this is what you want to grow for the long term, and this is what I now have that allows me to basically be retired. So it means that you get paid from a managerial position to know that your team are performing on an amazing level. So I have a fantastic team full of all these leaders and many more who go out there every day and spread this mission. They're so passionate about it, and it makes me kind of emotional thinking about it because I'm so blessed to have so many of you. But because that happens, Juice Plus knows that it wouldn't have happened without me. So they give a little bit of money to me every month, and it's beach money, right? Because it means that it's your value. It's them. They're appreciating you for bringing in more customers. So this is really cool because you can grow this and eventually be able to retire yourself and keep your business still moving, which is beautiful. So I like the fact that there's 3 ways, because it takes away the fact of just having a wage. You have control over it. You can make more of these, you can make more of these, and you can grow this. It gives you that option. Or you know what, if life gets in the way one month, you just don't do anything. You focus on your life, and then you pick this back up next month when you want to. It's that kind of beauty and that kind of freedom. So I'm going to shoot on over. Ash, we'll hear your story last up, darling, and then we'll close it on up. If I can find you. Can you take yourself off mute? I can't see her. She might have lost reception at work, did she? She may be gone. But I'll just share a little bit about her anyway, because I do love her story.
I saw her fall off, I saw her fall offline, and she hasn't come back on.
That's all right. She works hard. She's down down the bottom of New Zealand, working in the snow. So she's actually from the Gold Coast here where I am. We met a long time ago through Infinity, which is our attraction here that we were working at the time. And funnily enough, we're both total hippies and total gypsies. We just love to travel and do whatever we want. So when she's seen me living in Bali and doing all that stuff, she sent me a message saying, what is this soul project that you've got? And, you know, how do I get involved? So it was really cool. It was kind of back to front. She just really enjoyed the fact that the freedom. She wasn't necessarily on the product, but then when she tried the product and joined the business, she was like, this makes sense. I'm going to run with it. And as she did, she's introduced some amazing girls like Kristy and Danny and Laura and all sorts of beautiful people. So I'm really excited to see where her journey goes as well, because she's got big ideas at the moment of cutting back her work hours and letting her and her boyfriend travel around New Zealand in a camper van, which would be fun because this would support that journey. So there's so many different reasons why people get involved here, guys. And the beauty of it is that there's so many different people to support that. So we're not all the same. We're not all the same cut, but because we've come into this because we want to help people, well, most everybody I've met comes in here because they want to help people. It's a really nice caliber of people and a really good supportive environment to be around. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense about what it is that we do. If you're curious to know more, please ask questions. Don't be silly like me and hold off for so long. Hopefully now that you've actually seen it all explained, it does get you a little bit excited like it did me, because there is so much more out there that you should be doing than just staying in a job, especially if it's not serving you. Even if you build this up on the side and then run for it once it's covered up like I did, or if you want to jump all in pretty much like Tanza's done. Tanza's finishing up work at the end of the year, aren't you, darling? You're going full steam ahead with this, which is brilliant. Because how much time is that going to free up? It's going to give you so much time to go out there and do the things that you're passionate about. But whether it be the products or the business, whatever it is that strikes your fancy, chat to whoever it is that brought you here today. And no questions silly. Like, honestly, be totally upfront, because most of us had reservations before we started as well. You don't have to worry in that department. But let us answer your questions, because Juice Plus is so transparent. They've been around for a long time. If they weren't transparent, they wouldn't have lasted. So we can pretty much get anything covered. But thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions at the moment, feel free to pop them up in the chat box. If not, reach out on Facebook and talk to these beautiful people that have invited you here today. And hopefully we'll see you soon.